What Gen Z thinks Y2K fashion is. Super stylish and cute. What early 2000s fashion actually was. We were actually going through mental crisis.
What they don't know can't hurt them, I suppose, but we're truth tellers on this show. Get ready for a 5 Orange Juicy episode today. Remember the baby from the Nirvana album cover? He's an adult now and is suing the band and claiming the album cover is child porn. There was major drama behind the scenes of the show Even Stevens that you didn't know about. Will Kanye, or should I say Ye West, be requiring proof of juice at his Donda concert? And a brand new pop culture rewind. I just realized that today is a very nostalgia-themed episode from beginning to end. I kind of love that for us, don't you? I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Even if you were born in the early 2000s, you know this song, Smells Like Teen Spirit, and you've probably seen this album cover countless times. It's Nirvana's Nevermind album that came out in 1991. It had the singles Come As You Are and Smells Like Teen Spirit. Nevermind became a massive success as an album. In January 1992, it hit #1 on the US Billboard 200, and the lead single, Smells Like Teen Spirit, went all the way to #6 on the Billboard Hot 100. The music video was all over MTV at the time. The album art was super iconic too. It had a naked baby in a pool chasing a dollar. It was very poetic. Well, now that baby is grown up. His name is Spencer Eldon. He's 30, and the New York Post is reporting that he has filed a lawsuit against Kurt Cobain's estate and the band's surviving members, saying that the grunge pioneers violated federal child pornography statutes and sexually exploited him.
Put all the other fingers down.
Almost sucking her thumb, too. Come on, suck your thumb. Suck your thumb.
I'm the first person to call out any crimes against children, but y'all, do you think this was one? This guy Spencer has recreated that famous picture with his swimsuit on for the album's 10th, 17th, 20th, and 25th anniversaries. I feel like he's been using the clout from being on the cover his whole life, and now he just wants more money. But shouldn't he be suing his parents instead of the band? They sold the picture of him to them to use. This doesn't seem like it would really hold up if it was a storyline on Law & Order SVU. That's all I'm saying.
Give me your money!
Ironically, Mr. Spencer is doing exactly what that album cover predicted, chasing money. And I also think the context behind a nude picture of a baby or a child matters. That album cover was definitely pure art to me. There wasn't supposed to be anything sexual about it. So the question is it child porn, and does this guy have a case?
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
Kurt Cobain has been real quiet since that dropped.
I got you $1.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
I think one of the best shows to ever come out of Disney Channel was Even Stevens. The show aired from 2000 to 2003, and it was about the Stevens family who lived in Sacramento. It's really known for being the show that helped launch Shia LaBeouf's acting career. From the first episode, it was clear that he was a star.
Happy Mountain, the big old rock of fun.
Assume the position.
This show is now streaming on Disney+, so you know I'm gonna go back and watch. It was so good and so funny and very well written, but behind the scenes, I guess they weren't one big happy family. In fact, the sibling rivalry between Ren and Lewis that we saw on the show was kind of real.
To be honest, I don't even really know if we were ever really friends, but we were co-workers. We had this sort of like very good on-screen chemistry. People assumed that we were in real life brother and sister, and that in real life, I had an influence over what this guy did. Watch Honey Boy, and it's like he's a completely traumatized young man at the same time that I'm working with him. I'm honored that people would think that I would still be in touch with him, because It means that we really did a good job of making you guys think that we were real life brother and sister. But in reality, it just wasn't like that.
Christy Carlson Romano posted that 10-minute video to her YouTube channel, going into the truth about what we didn't know was happening between them while the show was at its height of popularity.
Something that actually really hurt my feelings was when he won his Emmy Award and he was on the podium. I was sitting there with the rest of our team, and he thanked like everybody at the table, but he didn't thank me. But I was hurt at the time because I felt like since day one, it was him and me. It was like our show. But because it was so life or death for him, it was his show. And I was just like around.
This whole video is really good. Christy's just walking around some park and spilling the beans.
When the time is right, the whole world will know my story.
Okay, not those beans, but it's just a super authentic and honest conversation, and I think she really lays it all out there. What it was like being a Disney Channel child star with someone who ended up being one of the biggest actors of all time. If you want something to watch and you're into that stuff, I recommend it. I also recommend watching Honey Boy, which is based on the real-life story of Shia LaBeouf and the child abuse he went through, which would have been while he was filming a lot of Even Stevens, like Christy said.
What am I being arrested for, huh? You think you're hot? Cause you don't know how good I am at what I do.
Anna Faris revealed that she eloped in a courthouse ceremony with her now husband, Michael Barrett. E! News reported that they were the only people there. It was just really random and they decided to do it.
It's all good, baby. It's all good.
Obviously, Anna was last married to Chris Pratt and they divorced in 2017. Still sad about that.
This here is Harmony.
Harmony.
And Carrie Mae.
Carrie Mae.
And then Joanne over there.
Joanne.
I always thought that I would absolutely never elope, but after the last year and a half of all the crap we've been through as a country just trying to host events and stuff, the non-hassle wedding approach has really appealed to me. So I guess I should take this time to tell you I'm married!
No, you're not.
Okay, no, I'm not. I'm just kidding. But what do you think? Elope, just the two of you, somewhere super dope? Or a big wedding with the dance party and the massive cake and the overpriced chicken entree?
Do you, Poppy, take Atticus to be your lawfully wedded husband? She does.
Kanye West has legally changed his name to Ye, but I'm just gonna call him Kanye because we all know it's a stunt for his new album.
Just told you who I thought I was. A god. I just told you.
Here's something cool. Obviously, Kanye has never been someone who's afraid to stand up for what he believes.
You think racism can control me? Oh, that don't stop me. That's an invisible wall.
And it looks like he's taking another stand by saying concert attendees who want to go to his upcoming album release show in Chicago will not be required to have the juice or test negative. Doesn't look like Kanye's requiring it himself to attend, but they are gonna have a setup. If you wanna get the juice, you can at the show. What they're doing instead is admitting 38,000 fans, which is cut in half from 63,000 people who were going to come to Soldier Field. I think that's a pretty fair compromise, though. I'd rather have less people able to go than do all the other crap.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Keeping with the theme of nostalgia, it's only fitting that today is Thursday, which means a brand new Pop Culture Rewind. It's when we look back and see what happened this week in pop culture history. This week in 1955, a 14-year-old black boy named Emmett Till was brutally murdered in Mississippi after he was accused of flirting with a white woman at a grocery store. Several nights after the incident, the woman's husband and his half-brother went to Emmett's house armed and abducted him. They took him away, beat him, and completely mutilated him before shooting him in the head and sinking his body in the river. It took authorities 3 days to find and recover his body, and when they did, his mom insisted on an open casket at his funeral so that the world would know that racism killed her son. It's one of the saddest and most powerful images in civil rights history.
I believe that the whole United States is mourning with me. And if the death of my son can mean something to the other unfortunate people all over the world, then for him to have died a hero would mean more to me than for him just to have died.
Have you ever heard of the term Stockholm Syndrome? Well, this week in 1973, a bank robbery gone wrong in Stockholm, Sweden turned into a hostage crisis. And over the next 5 days, the hostages started to sympathize with their captors, which led to what is now known as Stockholm Syndrome.
If someone threatens your life, threatens to kill you, but yet they preserve your life, they end up securing basic things for you, like food, other things like that, These simple kindnesses can be magnified under the stress and under violence. The captive and the captor, they identify with each other. They form powerful bonds. And these bonds can be anything from gratitude to affection to love, according to the theory.
This week in 1998, that 70s show premiered on Fox. Aw, this is where Mila and Ashton first met. Who knew that 2 years later they'd be married and opposed to bathing?
I'm cold too.
Well, damn, Jackie, I can't control the weather.
And this week at the 2013 MTV Music Video Awards, Miley Cyrus performed that infamous twerking routine with Robin Thicke. I throw up in my mouth a little bit every time I remember the image of Miley that the world never asked for. That's what happened this week in pop culture history. This was definitely a more pop culture centered episode today, so I hope you enjoyed this little break from the news. It's been kind of a sad and stressful news week, and I need a break sometimes too. Episodes like this are perfect ones to send to your friends who are apolitical or don't consider themselves to necessarily be conservative, because it's a good introduction to the show that doesn't overwhelm them with politics. We're still on the road to 100K. Remember, it's all CUTEservative teamwork on this. We write, produce, and film what we hope is a great show that you love, and then we need your help sharing it and introducing POPlitics to more people.
And I love it when a plan comes together.
Heart this episode if you haven't yet. Tell me if you think the Nirvana cover is child porn, if you prefer elopement or a big wedding, and if you grew up watching Even Stevens. DM this to friends and then tap that save button. I will see you here tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Click below to watch yesterday's episode. Please subscribe, thumbs up, share this video, and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss the conservatee. And make sure you're following this show at POPlitics on Instagram for even more CUTEservative content.